A very good day to all my dear students. Today we are going to see one of the topics that a retail store manager has to perform under retailing, which is store management. Many of you might be specializing in retailing or marketing and take up the role of a store manager. So, what are the things that you need to know and do in a store? That's what our topic of discussion today is going to be. So the responsibility mainly are store planning, location planning, managing store employees, controlling cost, and the 5 C's of retail operations. As management students, you would have seen this throughout your journey. One of the most important thing that is relevant to a retail store manager is the 5 S of retail operations. Before going into it, managing store employees, the job that a retail store manager has to do is recruit and select, socialize and train with the new employees, motivate the new employees, evaluating and performing or providing constructive feedback, rewarding and compensating. All these on paper, on word seems to be very nice job to do, very easy to do. But you have to be a thorough HR professional when you take up this particular role as a store manager. The next thing that you have to do is you need to put on your finance cap, as you have to control the cost of the retail store operation, from increasing labor productivity, how you can get the same person to do different jobs by job rotations and other things. So an employee who in the morning will be arranging the stock for you will also be doing the stock taking work in the afternoon, and might be evening he will be closing stock and doing that job as a store employee. Reducing maintenance and energy cost, where and all in AC can be put off, the lights can be put off, you need to have a control over it, and it has to be embedded in the employees that they also cooperate with you. Reducing inventory losses, so that by pilferage, because of wastage, spoilage, everything should be taken care of. Managing merchandise is another thing that is the sole responsibility of the retail store manager, which he can percolate through the store employees, displaying merchandise and maintaining visual standards that are required so that customers pick it up, working with buyers in order to get the latest relevant for the consumer base that you are targeting, suggesting new merchandise, buying merchandise, planning and managing special events. You must have seen that during summer vacation, long weekends and all, there are special events targeting different age groups, so that more and more footfalls are there in your retail store, which will get converted into sales. And marking down merchandise wherever you have to push the merchandise. So these are the visual depiction of 5S of retail operation. This 5S actually stands for these 5 things: system, standard, stock, space and staff, so that ultimately who benefits? The shopper who walks inside your store benefits. You have to have systems in place, including the computer system, so that he has got a seamless experience. Who? The customer. As he walks inside your store, buys what he wants and walks out. The standards, the quality standards of the merchandise that you're offering, the quality standard of your employees, the quality standard of your computer system, including how eco-friendly you are in terms of the paper cover that you give for packaging the things that a customer has bought. All this comes under standard. Stock, whether there is enough stock of what your consumer base is looking out for and you are able to replenish it at regular interval. The space is spacious enough for the consumer to walk around and shop, but at the same time retail space is costly and you need to take care that there is no wastage of space. And finally, the staff have to be trained to be friendly, knowledgeable and give the required deliverables. So all these for the shopper's benefit is the job of the retail store manager. He also needs to effectively do space management, wherein he has to allocate the store space to department, product category, storage space and customer space. The key objectives of these space management is you need to have high returns of investment from whatever space is given to you. So you have to display that kind of merchandise which is going to sell off and provide a lot of profit to the retail store operation. How do you do it? When do you do it? In what frequency you do it? Is all the expertise of the retail store manager. Also, to ensure compatible, exciting and rational interface between the customer, merchandise and salespeople. As a retail store manager, you are managing an ecosystem which has to complement each other, the components of it, so that ultimately the retail space is a profit center. Effective management of store space requires a sound understanding of the nature of the offering, suppliers and departments. What are you trying to sell? Who is supplying that to you? And what are the different categories that you're operating in? The quantity of merchandise the store wants to carry. If you see it is a small standalone department store or standalone retail store like the mom and pop shop, in biscuit category you will have one unit of different categories of biscuit. But if you walk into a big retail, national retail chain, the biscuit category itself, you will have 10 pieces of one particular brand of biscuit with variants within that. So how much variants you offer, which are the brands you're going to stock, at what eye level you're going to stock, all this is what the store manager has got a say in. The location and proportion of space allotted to different types of merchandise. So retailers' decision regarding the proportion of space to be allocated to specific merchandise is further guided by how profitable the merchandise is, the merchandise display, placement of merchandise within the store, and seasonal consideration. So during summers, it is a season of mango. So if you are a food retailer, food and grocery retailer, definitely you allocate more space to this fruit than the other fruit. And what is going to be the return on investment that you are going to get is also to be calculated. That is what you mean by seasonal consideration. Apart from that, the other three are something that the retail store manager has to continuously do. Ultimately, the profit per unit retail space, including the efforts of the salesperson and the other computer systems available, should be maximum. That is what a retail store manager consistently strives to achieve. So moving on, we look at some of the things that are going to help a retail store manager achieve this space. First thing is the fixtures. It accepts, holds, stocks and shows merchandise. You have to effectively use the correct fixture in order to maximize your retail space profitability output. Second one is used in window displays, on top of counters, within floor arrangements. And it contributes to store brand image and ambience. You feel like buying, opening up your purse only if you feel the ambience is good. At the same time, the retail store manager has to maximize his profit. How this is achievable? It is achievable if you use the right fixtures and the right pop-ups that a retail store manager has. And finally, it is expected to last a long time. So these are different types of fixtures. First one is the capacity fixture. Whenever you want to display large quantities, then you go for it. It shows a single style in depth of selection. Once again, this depends upon which type of, whether you are manning a specialty store or you are manning a general merchandise low cost store. Depending upon that, you will go for the different fixtures. Capacity fixtures generally shows a single style in depth of selection. In depth of selection means the color, the size might vary, but the style will be the same. Usually the largest fixtures in the store are the capacity fixtures, usually placed in the back of the store. So you want your customers to walk through other things, experience that, and might be for a mix and match option or for complementing whatever they have bought, they pick up stuff from here. Feature fixtures used to highlight categories. You can see it as depicted over here. It holds fewer items, best used as lead-in fixtures. What do lead-in fixtures mean? When we are there in front of it, we feel like walking down the corridors that it is leading to. It attracts us from different parts of the store so that we go there and we are able to see what is there beyond this also. That is what you mean by lead in fixtures. It calls, it attracts the customers to walk towards it. And once we walk towards it, there are many more things in display beyond it which we end up seeing. Also interpose throughout the store to add variety. You put it in between so that customers move from one block to another and are able to see all the things that are beyond that. Signature fixtures, it is one of a kind unit positioned at store or department entrance. Reflects brand image, designed specifically for the store to catch shoppers' interest. You want to have a one-time catch of the customer, these signature fixtures, which are unique to that particular retail outlet. Mostly specialty stores with their brand image or the brand logo go in for these signature fixtures. Basically, all these fixtures are to get your customers to go around and see the variety of merchandise that you have got. These are some of the different types of retail fixtures. Each one the retail store manager has to use according to whether you're running a sale or it is a general time that you are displaying items and what kind of items you want to display. Lighting is another important component which the retail store manager can use according to the things that he wants to highlight and push across. Natural light, daylight and light used at night reflect the same merchandise appearance in different ways. You can play with it. This is one of the important tools that a visual merchandiser in concise with a store manager looks out for when designing a particular store. Graphics and signage. It eases the work of the customer when he is inside. At the same time, it should be it should enhance the beauty of the stores. So signage can be related to merchandise, direction, how do you go from the men's to the women's or the children's section, checkout counter, all these things. Instructional signs which tells you that whether these particular things are on rebate or not, what you need to do in order to do next other things. Courtesy signs telling that thank you, please shop with us again. Store dictionary, what does the different short forms actually stand for. Digital signages are used nowadays. You can see some of the food retail outlets. They are very appealing. They are very less costly. You can make amazing things out of your environment by using digital signage. There are category signage, promotional signage, and point of sale signage within the digital signage, as you can see in big retail outlets. They are beautiful. They enhances the ambience as well as tells the customer how to move about to find the stuff that they want. I end my lecture over here with on the retail store manager's responsibility and what are the things that he needs to know in order to start off a retail store operations. Thank you, Anna.